This is an easy, fast, and efficient upper body workout from my Optimized Fitness app. Okay, and by the end of the video, I'm gonna have taken you through the whole workout, and I'm gonna show you how you can very efficiently and effectively get an amazing muscle building workout in literally less than 45 minutes. So stay tuned. I'm gonna share all the secret sauce and all the tips and tricks that I've learned after years of coaching. I've served thousands of personal training sessions, hundreds of clients, and I'm not holding anything back. I'm gonna pull back the curtain, share it all with you guys. Okay, if you don't know me, my name is Jacob. I help career-focused men build muscle, get lean, and reveal their dream body without it feeling like a complete grind. So if you're new to the channel, welcome in. And if you're returning, thanks for being here. Let's get to that gritty reps. Let's get that grittiness, fellas. Okay, we're starting with the upper body workout here. I'm gonna show you, first things first, first exercise we got is just arm circles. So I'll put the screen recording on the screen, but first thing I'm gonna do, anytime I start a workout, I always just do like little arm circles just to like get everything nice and warmed up. There we go, nice and warm. Keep it simple, guys. All right, first exercise on the list, we're going for the single arm cable tricep push down. Okay, we got 2 sets. All right, I'm gonna get right into it, kind of as if I were just doing the workout by myself, and then we'll rest. I will talk in between resting. All right, so first things first, whenever I'm doing a machine for the first time, I just wanna make sure everything's comfy, wanna make sure form is perfect. So I'm gonna start with a little bit of a lighter weight. Just do a quick warm up. There we go. Nothing crazy. And now we're gonna get it in that gritty rep range. You're okay. Now we're gonna pick a weight that we can get right near failure, right between like 5 and 7 reps, okay? And the whole reason we do that is this is what the gritty reps is all about, right? Remember guys, it's only the last 5 reps before failure on a set that actually create muscle growth in the first place, okay? So we're not gonna like try to do sets to 12 and 15 and just get like a really crazy burn. That would be super redundant. I'd rather us pick a weight where we can get near failure, closer to 5. That way we can just be as efficient as possible with our time and energy. Okay, so with that in mind, let's see if 90 pounds gets us right in that gritty rep range. Wow. All right. Right to failure, right at 5 reps. Super efficient. See, that might have looked pretty hard. See, for me, I've been practicing the gritty reps for a while, so it's super easy for me to like get right near failure, really a lower rep range. For you, if you're still practicing, you're a little newer, you can try to like do it closer to like 6, 7, or 8 reps. Sometimes getting to failure right at 5 takes a tiny bit of practice, but I have no doubt that you'll get there. But you'll notice right there with form, every single one of those reps, I'm pushing as hard as I possibly can, okay? But the really important thing to understand is that, well, let me do the other side and then I'll explain, okay? But remember guys, when you're doing single arm and single leg stuff, you don't wanna jump right from one side to the other. It's better to rest a little bit in between, right? Because if I go right from the right to the left and my heart is racing, I'm gonna be at a disadvantage for training my other arm. So rather rest a tiny bit in between, let some of that fatigue dissipate before we get into the other side. So just rested about like a minute, so perfect. I'm gonna go for the exact same weight, see if we get 5 reps on the left arm now. Alrighty. 5 gritty reps. All right, so now I'm gonna track that weight, so it's 90 pounds for 5 reps. All right, so it's always important to track your weights, guys, because that way when I do this exercise next time, I can look back into my archives and be like, okay, last time I got 90 for 5, this time I'm gonna go for 90 for 6, right? And making those small incremental jumps, that's how muscle growth works. That's how you actually build muscle, okay? But for now, I'm probably gonna keep it right at 90 for the second set. Notice I have my rest timer on here. So I'm gonna rest about another minute now. I think I was explaining something important. Oh yeah, what I was explaining before I did the left, guys, is that the whole idea with the gritty reps, right, is we're going for those last 5 before failure. But we don't want to do it at the expense of our technique. Okay, the technique is like the foundation and the gritty reps are like the bricks. Okay, so if me like doing a heavy weight meant that I had to completely cheat my form, you're missing the whole point. Okay, that's why people say ego lifting, right? It's like you're going heavy, but then you're also cheating your form. The gritty reps is like, I'm going super heavy, but I'm also keeping good form. But it's easy to keep good form. No worries. It's easy to keep good form on super simple, stable machines, things like this, right? Like if I was doing a barbell squat where it's super complicated, there's a lot of moving pieces to it. It's really hard to get right into that gritty rep range without compromising my technique, right? So that's why you'll notice everything that we do inside the program is all super simple moves. Like, dude, this is so easy. It's just machines. Like, it's all machines. Machines are so easy to do. It's so hard to mess up the machines. I would never ever program something that was complicated, like a burpee or like something that is like hard. Like, we don't want it to feel hard. We want it to feel easy so that we can make it hard by just choosing a heavy weight, if that makes sense. All right, timer just went up. Let's get one more set on each arm here. I'm gonna go for the same weight, same thing, probably try to go for 5 reps again. That is definitely gritty. I definitely cannot have done a 6 there. Nice and effective. That's like doing 5 different sets on triceps in 1 set, right? It's like you're really making it good, so good that it's like you get the benefit as if you did multiple. That's the awesome part about doing gritty reps. It's not like you're getting less gains because you're doing less. It's like you're learning how to get the best bang for your buck, so you're really getting more for what you do. All right, rested probably like 30, 45 seconds. Let's go right for the left now, and then we're gonna go to the next exercise. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, so that's it for triceps for the entire day, guys. Like, you would be shocked. Like, you always get the best bang for your buck the first couple sets on a muscle for the day, right? So like, I think of it like a pencil. You know, like the more you use a pencil, it gets more and more dull, and eventually it becomes ineffective. Same thing with training any muscle in a workout. The first couple sets that you do, right, when that pencil is nice and sharp, you get awesome bang for your buck. Those sets work really well. But the more you just kind of brute force it, you get into that grind mode and you start really, you know, chasing the pump and chasing the burn and putting your body through the ringer. That's like just using that pencil until it's a complete nub. And then you're just like writing with a you know, like with just like a big nub. It's not gonna actually do anything, it's just overkill. So many of these meathead fitness influencers, that's exactly what they're doing. They're just like totally working themselves into the ground. But when you can just focus on those first couple really good bang for your buck sets, when the pencil is nice and sharp, you can be so much more efficient with your time and energy. And you can really learn how to get awesome bang for your buck without it just feeling like a complete grind. All right, so we did set exercise number 1. Now we're going for exercise number 2. We're gonna go for the cable lat pull down. Follow me, fellas. Hey, Mike. All right, we're on exercise number 2 here. Now we're going for the cable lat pull down. But obviously, like, I know the technique. I've been practicing this for a while. If you for some reason didn't know how to do the form, I have videos right here where I'm basically teaching the exact technique for every single move. So don't worry if you're not like a workout pro yet. First of all, I always pick super simple movements. Like I've trained like old people that have problem with their joints. They can do gritty reps because it's so simple, everything that we program. I trained a guy named McLaren. He's got autism. He can't like move, like he doesn't have great coordination. He can still do gritty reps because it's all so easy, the moves that I program. I'm not gonna program anything that's complicated. Okay, so, but if you for some reason needed to learn the form, there's always a video. All right, let's go for some gritty reps, guys. All right, I'm gonna go for 185. See if this will get me in the gritty rep range. And let me put this up a little bit. So I picked a heavy enough weight on here that I think this is gonna get me right near that failure point, right probably between like 5 and 7. That's what I'm looking for. So let's test it out. Shoot, there we go. All right, got right to 6 that time. That was definitely super gritty. So let me track that weight. That was 185 for 6. All right. I definitely don't need to rest this long. When it comes to rest time, it's actually so surprising. Like, let's say I did this set, I just did 185 for 6. If I rested like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and I try to do the same weight, I would probably only get like 2 or 3 reps. But when I rest like a minute and a half, at least, sometimes 2 minutes, you'll notice I'll be able to retain that strength so much better. I'll probably get like 5 or 6 again. Okay, so that's super important because those last ones are the most meaningful for muscle growth. So try not to skip yourself out on the rest, right? The rest is really important. Like if building muscle was like cutting through a steak, a lot of people, it's like they're using a butter knife, right? Imagine you're trying to cut through a steak with a butter knife. You're going really fast. You're not taking a lot of rest, right? But that knife is so dull that you barely make any progress, right? But when we try to use a steak knife, or a steak knife is a little bit different. You can take a very sharp, effective cut, and then you can take a long rest and you can sharpen your knife, then a nice effective cut, sharpen the knife, and then repeat. Okay, so it's not just about doing more, it's about getting more from what you do. It's not about going fast, it's about being patient, right? So I got 15 more seconds on this timer. Some machines, I would be able to add like a 2.5 on here. On this machine in particular, I'm not gonna be able to. I don't think I'll be able to do another notch. So let's just go for a second set on the same weight. All right, timer just went off. You know what that means, guys. It's gritty time. Let's get that grit. Sometimes I procrastinate. Not this time. Gritty. Nice. We got right to 6 again. That was surprising. I thought I was only gonna get 5. Well, you'll notice, guys, when you get into the gritty rep territory on some of these pulls, you'll start to feel your fingers a little bit. That's when it's great to get one of those weightlifting straps. I just happened to leave mine at home, but I normally like them. Obviously, it's not a huge deal if you don't have them, but some of my clients like them. Some of my clients like, it's a little too extra today, Coach Gritty. I'm like, you're right, I am. I'm weird. All right, that was 185 for 6 again. Great start, guys. We're crushing. We're 15 minutes in the workout. We're about a third of the way done already. So think of it, we only did 4 sets, but I'm feeling like so strong right now. My triceps are feeling really good. Feeling my back like crazy because I made those sets such high quality. All right, we're gonna move on to the next exercise, guys. Follow me. Thanks. All right, guys, next up on the list, we have the rear delt fly machine. You'll notice it's being taken right now. So sometimes that happens at the gym, where even though you got something next up on your list, it's being occupied. So we're just gonna swipe over, and instead of that, we're gonna go for the machine upper back row, which just so happens to be right next to it. So follow me. So we're going right here, guys. Machine upper back row. If you need a video, remember, like always, there's a video right there to demonstrate it. Okay, we're gonna go right for that gritty rep territory. All right, so we're gonna load this puppy up, and we're gonna try to get right near failure, right near 5 reps, because I like to be as efficient and effective with my time as possible. I'm sure you do too. Being efficient is fun. All right, so let's load this puppy up. There we go. All right, so really what I'm gonna do here, guys, to train the upper back, you wanna have a lot of scapular retraction. You wanna get your shoulder blades back as you're pulling. That's gonna really help you get those traps. Whereas if I stay more neutral in my pull, it's a lot more lack. Okay, so I'm gonna kinda get that chest out. All right, so just like this, fellas. Wow. Oops, almost just crushed the mic. That was super gritty. Oh, wow, that was good. All right, so that was 253 pounds for 5 reps. High five. Thanks, you. All right, now we're gonna take a long rest, guys. Sharpen that steak knife. That way we can go into the next set at full capacity to get the best bang for our buck. I'm gonna ask Roger if I can use his weightlifting strap. Press key. What's up, brother? Do you have your straps on you?
Yeah.
You mind if I borrow them for this set? Thanks, dog. All right, guys, this is Roger. This guy, he knows all about the gritty reps. Okay, it's actually funny. One time I met him, he was on this machine, and I was like, yo, can I work in with you?
The long strap.
The long ones. And then he was like doing the gritty reps already. He was only doing 5 reps. And I was like, this guy knows something. And then we did the whole workout together. It was super optimal. Thanks, dog. Appreciate you, brother. Right? You know about the gritty reps, right? It's just the last 5 before failure that are the most meaningful for muscle growth, right?
Yeah, what max this set.
Exactly. See, look at his weight, guys. He's doing the full stack. Okay, so a lot of people, they would like put that way too light and like really just try to get like a crazy burn. Listen to guys like Roger. He knows what he's doing. I'm gonna put a link to his Instagram. Go follow Roger, guys.
Know what you know it.
What's that?
You know what you know it.
Thank you, dog. So I just borrowed these weightlifting straps from Roger. The reason why, it's gonna help me make this a tiny bit more optimal. Okay, so what we're gonna do right here, guys, is this is gonna help me really strap in. That way I don't feel any of that finger pain. Okay, like I said, if you're like, you know, unless you've like been doing gritty reps for a while, you really don't need these. But if you've been practicing for a while like me, it's kind of annoying doing pulls without these because like they really help a lot. Okay, so all I'm doing when I'm using these, I put them on here. You always want the tail to go right between your index finger and your thumb. Okay, then you make it like a V and you put the handle of whatever you're using right in between that V. Then once you put it right in between the V, then you just wrap it from your pinky to your thumb. You just wrap it, pinky to thumb, and then you tighten it. That's it. Sounds complicated. Once you get the hang of it, it's actually super simple. All right, so let's go for the same weight. Just a little grittier with the weightlifting straps now. All right, I'm gonna strap up first. All right, now that I'm strapped up, I'm locked in. Now, it's gritty time. But I gotta make it a little bit tighter. Oh yeah, this is gonna feel way better. I got the same amount of reps, but it just felt so much better. I didn't feel my fingers at all. So I was really able to allocate all that effort towards just training my back. Woo. That was like doing an entire back day in 1 set. My back is screaming right now in a good way. Woo. Second set, 253 for 5. Let me check that off. All right, rest a couple minutes. The next exercise is right next to us. We also have a machine chest press, so which we can do right now. It's right here. So follow me, guys, right here. So this is a chest press, right? When I'm coming out in front of me. Obviously, when I'm coming overhead, that's more shoulders, and then right in between, a little bit more upper chest. So this machine just so happens to be a little bit at an up incline. It's a little bit more upper chest, but I don't mind. All right, I only have 1 set scheduled here. My program is a tiny bit more advanced. So the more advanced you get, the less sets that you need, because you really learn how to make more from each set. So for you, who's probably more so in the beginner intermediate range, very rarely would I program just like a single set on an exercise. Probably you're gonna be doing like at least 2 gritty sets, 2 to 3. Normally 2 though. 2 is kind of like my favorite volume per exercise, per muscle group, per workout, right? So, but then you're like, Jake, like 2 sets per muscle group, per workout, what the heck? But yeah, you're gonna get the 2 really good gritty bang for your buck sets, but you're gonna do that multiple times throughout the week. So you might get 2 sets to failure on the chest on Monday, but you might get 2 more sets of failure on the chest on Wednesday, and then 2 more on Saturday, right? So it's like you're getting the really good bang for your buck sets, but you're spacing them out rather than just like going crazy on one muscle group at a time. All right, so we're gonna go 1 set on each side here. So let's gritty it up. All right, my muscles are feeling great. I'm feeling strong. So I'm gonna do single arm for mine because this machine, I don't really like how like they move separate. It's like a little too complicated for me. Remember, I like to keep it as simple as possible. So I don't want to have to think about like balancing them if I don't need to. This is just a little bit better. I like to do single arm, but obviously that's just like a little pro tip. Hopefully it's not too heavy. I gotta figure, I might hit failure. Let's see. Yeah, that is heavy, but I can do it. Yeah, that's gritty.
Sure.
Steak knife set, right? Nice and effective. Didn't take that long. My heart isn't really racing. My muscles aren't aching, not burning. It was just the gritty. All I felt was gritty. But gritty feels good. Gritty feels strong. It doesn't like hurt. It's kind of weird. It's hard to describe, but once you do it, like if you try out a workout like this, you'll never go back. It's the best. Feels like you're like, man, where has this been all my life? It's just like so efficient. Feels amazing. Especially like if you're like me, like I work like 10, 12 hours a day. I'm always working. So like I don't have the time to just be in here, just kind of just like, you know, repping it out, just walking around. Like I gotta like, if I'm gonna make good gains, I gotta like get in and get out and like be efficient. So if you work a lot too, then you probably understand that it's like, man, like I don't know if I have that much time to just be doing what some of these meathead fitness influencers are doing. It's just walking around the gym, like posing in the mirror the whole time. Then no, we got stuff to do. We got businesses to create. We got visions to fulfill on, right? These things aren't gonna do themselves. So the gym is not supposed to interfere with that. It's supposed to supplement that, right? It's not supposed to hold you back and be a chore on your to-do list. It's supposed to be something that you can just do to constantly reconnect to your potential, to constantly grow into a slightly better version of you and just feel strong, right? It's like that foundation. It's just that keystone that keeps everything together. It's that way just never lack in self-confidence because you know every single week I'm showing up, I'm pushing myself, I'm getting stronger, I'm setting records, right? And that carries over to every other part of your life. All right, let's go for the other side now. Alrighty, that's it for chest. Oh, that was gritty. All right. That was 176 for 5, guys. So that was like literally like, I feel like I have a chest pump and I only did 1 set on each side. It's crazy. It's all I'm doing for chest. Like I might train the chest again though in a couple of days, but what did that take me, like 3 minutes? Some people spend an hour and a half just training chest. It's just overkill, guys. You don't need that overkill because what you do, make it count and do it frequently. All right, we only got 2 more exercises, right? We're 28 minutes into the workout. Wild. I'm feeling like really strong and good. All right, so now we're gonna go for the rear delt flies. I might add a set here. Go for 2 sets. All right, right here on the rear delt fly, make sure when you're in the rear delts, this needs to be all the way in. Just like that. There we go. Now we're gonna pick a weight. I remember like when I started my fitness journey, I was like, oh, the rear delts, you gotta really do high reps to get that squeeze. Like, no, every muscle group every muscle group abides by the same physiological principles. It's not like some muscles are just like all of a sudden like, you really need to do lots of reps for me, and others like, oh, you don't need to do lots for me. The muscle fibers don't know the difference. It's like muscle fibers just know this is a little too esoteric, but they just know, am I being activated and is mechanical tension being applied to me? I'm not going to get into all the nitty gritty science because you don't really care about that. But if you are curious about that, you can just message me on Instagram and I would be happy to talk about that. It is one of my favorite subjects to talk about, but it is super esoteric. So, all right, let's go right here. We're going to get right near failure, right around 5 reps. Okay, on this machine, I like to do single arm. So I'm actually going to have this single arm variation right here. So this is actually alternate exercises. So I put some of my favorite alternates on here. All right, so let's go single arm. Woo. Wow, nice and efficient, nice and effective. Keep it gritty. All right, I was 132 for 5. I was a tiny bit heavy, low key. I might do a bit of a back off set. It was kind of hard to keep a good form. So if I ever overshoot and I feel like I can't keep for perfect form, I got no problem going a tiny bit lighter. But I'd rather do that than undershoot and then like not even get in the gritty rep territory, because then you're just wasting your time. So let's get one more. Let's try to keep the same weight. This might be a little hard, but we'll try it out. We'll see how it feels. I'm gonna raise this a little bit. There we go. Ouch. All right, that's one set done. I'm almost done with the entire workout, guys. For one more set on each rear delt, and then we're gonna do a tiny bit of abs, and then that's it. So you would be shocked, guys, if I asked you how many sets to failure do you need on a muscle per week to maintain all your gains? You'd be shocked by the answer. It's literally only one. If you do one set to failure on the chest, for example, every week, you won't lose any progress. If you do 2 sets once a week, now you're in slight gains. If you do 2 sets twice a week, now you're doing really well. You're definitely in gains. If you do like 2 gritty ass sets, like 3 times per week spaced out, now you're like, oh, you were absolutely crushing. But I would never do anything any more than that. I would never do more than like 3 sets of failure on a muscle in a workout. That's wild. Because then you're getting into that dull pencil territory, right? Might as well skip out on that. Just only use that pencil when it's sharp. All right, I'm gonna keep the same weight. I think it actually was okay. We're gonna go for one more gritty set on each side. Green. Hurt so good. Like, let's see how many sets I did today, guys. I did 1 on the chest. I did 2 on the upper back, 2 on the rear delts. Oh, we're at 5, 2 on the upper lats. That's 7, 9 with the triceps. Hey guys, we're gonna do 10 total sets. And I'm telling you, it's a whole paradigm shift. You don't need to be doing 30 sets per workout. If you do 10 good sets, you're getting actually better bang for your buck than 30 mid sets where you're creating all this fatigue. So let's go one more on the right, and that's it. All right. Sometimes I slam it on the last one, not on purpose, but it's like you're so fatigued, like you're getting really to failure on the last one that like you don't have a lot of energy to really control that last rep. Okay, so it's okay if you slam it a tiny bit. Okay, because really the negative does not matter as much as people say. Negative and like is important just for like standardizing the movement, make sure you're doing it the same way every time. But when it comes to muscle growth on the concentric, when you're actually pushing, right, that's what's most important, because that's when you're actually like giving the muscle an effort. And that's how you basically gain access to the most muscle fibers. And yeah, apply mechanical tension to the fibers. Like I said, you don't care about that. Follow me. Last exercise of the day. All right, guys, last exercise of the day, ab rollouts. Ab rollouts is a little harder to get near failure between like the 5 and 8 rep range like we normally try to do. Because it's hard to really load it up. You can do, like, if you really wanted to make it gritty, you can like put a little bit of weight on your back. Sure, you don't want to do that, so no worries. We'll just be a little bit less efficient with this one. Not the end of the world. All right, I'm just gonna go right here like this. I'm keeping my core braced the whole time, right? I'm in this posture and I'm just right here. It's honestly just a little too easy for me. I feel like I could keep going. I don't like to be super inefficient. Honestly, guys, with core training, like, I'll be honest, I don't train core super often. Like, I'll do a couple of sets like that here and there. You get a lot of like your core, like that's gonna really be developed when you're lowering your body fat percentage, like doing your cardio and your nutrition on point. Right? Obviously, you want to train it, but like you don't need, like, you could probably get near failure with this in that rep range. For me, I just feel like I could do that for ages. So let's do one here, check that off, and then I'm gonna show you guys the other exercise. This is the jackknives, because this is the alternate I have on here. The jackknives, it's pretty fun. I like it, at least. I'll show you what that looks like. Here you go. I feel like this is gonna be too light too. Use this. So normally with core, guys, I'll just do like a machine, like an ab crunch machine, where I can just load it up really heavy and get to failure right near 5. With like this body weight stuff, it's so hard to make it gritty. That's why I never do stuff like this usually. Obviously it was on the program, so we're gonna do it. See, even sometimes in my program, I'll sprinkle in stuff here and there that's just kind of fun. But for the most part, I like to keep it optimized. All right, I'll show you guys the jackknife. Yes. I think I could keep doing this for ages too. Or maybe not. I'm kind of getting near failure. But it's mostly my upper body. All right. All right, that's it for core, guys. That's enough core. You don't need that much core anyways. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining along my gritty workout. Let's kind of recap the whole thing. Took us 40 minutes, just like I suspected. I told you it was going to be right between like 35 and 45 minutes. Hit the nail on the head, right with 40. We went through some core. We went through some chest. We went through some upper back. We went through some rear delts, right? We went through our lat pull down. We did the upper lats, right? We went through triceps with a single arm push down. Everything super efficient. We did 10 total sets. They were all high quality, all nice and gritty. This is all I do, guys. Like you see, I have all this muscle. Like that's all I do. I do this like 4 or 5 times a week. I do some cardio, like simple cardio, like going on little jogs that are enjoyable, that I love, and the beautiful spots in Tampa and stuff. And then I put good quality fuel in my body. I have good habits. Food is fuel, habits rule. I wake up, I eat eggs and avocado toast every day on autopilot, like brushing my teeth, right? I go to Naked Farmer. All simple, good quality ingredients. Right? It's not about really what I do, it's about what I don't do. I'm not a partier, right? I'm a gym goer, right? I'm Jacob Graham, right? Like you need to have this vision of yourself as like a fit, confident person. None of this matters if you literally think of yourself as your past. Like all the things that you did in the past, all your bad habits, all your old beliefs, you already paid for that. But now you have the opportunity to rewrite your future. You don't have to let that control you. Okay, so break from those chains, rewrite your story, envision who you want to become. If you want to become a fit, confident, muscular, energized person who's growth-minded and consistent and disciplined, just choose it and it's yours. It's that simple. Choose it and it's yours. And if you want my help, actually, having the right tools, having a teammate that's gonna actually help you create that vision so you don't have to do it alone, and you want everything that you need to help you stick to those habits as simply as possible, just click the link below or DM me the word optimize on Instagram and we can have a conversation and I can see how I might be able to help you as well. But thank you guys. Thanks for joining me in this gritty workout. I'll see you in the next video.